Hey guys, this is Bryce from Team Talon, and for our final project submission, we chose to do the Walton College Graduate School of Business application. That covers many of the different programs here at the U of A for graduate students, including the MBA, MIS, and the MAC, IMAC programs. So the system we developed has a lot of different screens, does a lot of different stuff. So just to kind of get started here, we'll go ahead and stop what's going and start it up again. You'll see the load screen pop up, and there's the home screen. So we'll get this out of the way so we can see things a little bit better. Okay, at this point, we have the system set up for 4 different users: a student, advisor, committee, and architect. So just for the sake of getting started, we'll say we're an MBA student that wants to apply to the program. So go to that screen, click that, and here we are at the login. Student for the username and password. And that window will pop up that kind of gives us some options here as what to do once we get in as a student. So we want to apply. And this will take just a second because that's what forms generally do. So we'll just go ahead and make something up. I don't have anything in mind at this point, so I'll just say Craig Johnson. And we'll just give him some general information. Just making everything up at this point. And a lot of these fields are actually null, where you wouldn't even have to put anything in, but just for the sake of having a full application in the video, we'll go ahead and get him all set up, having everything in the system. So just bear with me for just a second while I get some of these things filled out. Okay, now that we got that filled out, we'll just go ahead and put him in one of these programs. As you can see, there's kind of a distinction between the programs here. There is a full-time program and an executive program at the U of A for the MBA program, so we'll just put him in the full, and you'll see this dialog pop that says you're in and that your application is going to be reviewed, and they'll be in contact with you soon. So we'll go ahead and get out of that, and now that the student's in, they will show up for review in the committee screens that we have here. So since that was an MBA application, we'll likewise go into the MBA screen for the committee and log in with committee. Okay. Now this kind of DSS system here will pop up where you have a few different options as what to do as a committee member. So we'll click this review applicants button, and you'll see Mr. Johnson's information pop up from where we just entered it. So let's say that we like his application and think he's got the stuff it takes to be in the MBA program. Just from an initial standpoint, we'll go ahead and accept him. And this isn't putting him into the program yet. He can't sign up for classes or anything yet, but he's just being put into another spot that's separate from all these other applications that might not be sufficient for the program. So we'll go ahead and put him in that holding pool. The holding pool is accessed here under the Give Final Approvals button. And we'll see Mr. Johnson's information appear once again. And if you want to put him in the program and say, hey, you can sign up for classes now, we'll click the accept button, which we're going to do that just for the sake of the video. And okay, this lets him know that he's in, or lets the committee know that Mr. Johnson's in. And now he will show up in the advisor portion of the application, so we'll go back and we'll log in as an advisor in the MBA program. Advisor. Okay, and this will pop up similar to the last screen where you could do things for committee. At this point, we have the advisor being able to enter in grades and course history types of considerations. So just scroll until we can find Mr. Johnson's stuff. Okay, there's Greg Johnson. Let's say we just want to put him in these first 3 courses here. We'll remember that the last 4 of his socials 5223. We'll say that these classes are in progress and he hadn't taken them yet. So we will give him access to this class, to the 2nd class administration, and the 3rd class business logic. Okay, we'll close that out. 5223 is the important number to remember. Now Mr. Johnson wants to go in and look at his grades or what classes he's taken. We'll log in as a student again and we'll check grades. 5223. Of course, he'll know his social. So there's the 3 classes that we just signed up for. You'll see they're in progress at this point, so there's not a grade available. And you can see that we entered them on the 12th here. You can see where we entered in some in testing and then never got cleared out. But there's the 3 we just entered. So that's kind of how the grade system works. We know it's not ideal with the socials being out there the way they are, but we could never figure out just a real good way to filter out one student's grades just so they could see their own. So that's one thing we wish we could have got a little bit more fine-tuned before we had to make the video, but we kind of ran short on time. And it works. It's functional for grades, so we weren't too worried about it, but there could definitely be a better way to do it as far as security goes. But that's how we have checking grades at this point. These 2 buttons, we'll go ahead and go over them now while we're here. Access textbooks just gives you access to the UARK bookstore link, the website. They already have a system, so we didn't really do much to duplicate it. Similarly, for assistantships, we just link them up with some information on their respective program. In this case, it'll link them up to an MBA website about assistantships. So you'll kind of get some information here, just anything and everything you might need to know. And there's other links to other parts of the curriculum. So that's a lot of what you can do from the student side. We'll look at committee, and we'll just keep the MBA. We went over these 2 functions of the committee. Okay, we'll look at the alumni. This is what we'll do to say you're now an alumni after you get out of the graduate program. So we'll just go ahead and say it's down the road and Greg's got all his stuff done and he's doing good and he got out of the program and now he's got a job, and we just want to keep up with some of his information for later use. It might be for some kind of a, I don't know, staff function where they invite people back to the U of A. You know, it could be for anything. So at this point, notice this button doesn't work. You can't put them in. But once we enter in these considerations for salary range and when they actually graduated from the program, we'll say 2013 on this one, this becomes available to promote them into the MBA alumni table. So once he's in there, he'll come here and view the alumni, and there's Greg, tells where he works, what he's making, when he graduated, just anything and everything you might want to know about Mr. Johnson once he's made it out of the program. So we'll close out of that screen. I think we went over everything from advisor to student to committee. So we'll look at the architect screen. And the architect screen is important because, as things change within the program, you're also going to want to add a course or add an instructor. Things change. So we need some way to go in there and actually add things to the database from the app. Okay, and here we have the 3 different programs that we're working with, MBA, MACC, and the MIS. Let's just say that we want to add a MAC course. I've done a lot of MBAs over the past couple of days, so let's do something a little bit different. We'll just say, we'll make it a really easy one. Call it accounting have teacher number 1000 teach it. Notice they're already in the system. Course added to Mac registry. And once you refresh this, you should see it pop up. There it is right there, the one we just added. So this just kind of gives you an idea of what's already in there, so you can come down here and not duplicate anything, or add something that's already on the list, or just keeps everything straight by having these listings. Just kind of helps you out. But one thing is you can't add a new teacher for a new course unless the teacher's already in the system. Like in this case, we couldn't add something for teacher 1500 because there's not a teacher 1500. So to do that, you'd have to go back out and add the instructor first. So let's, just for the sake of that, add a teacher 1500, and I don't know, we'll call them. This is the hardest part of everything for me, is thinking up of a name to actually put in the system. Okay, and we'll add them as a Mac instructor. They're added to the system, and just like that, you'll see them pop up. And now if you wanted to come back and add that instructor to a new class in the Mac registry for classes, it would work, because now there's a 1500 Mac instructor. So that's one thing that could be done a little bit better, but there's a process to get around it, so we didn't feel too bad about it. So let's back out of that, and pretty sure that's kind of just the gist of what we got going on. I think I've covered just about everything, and it's kind of hard to get a feel for how big the program was, because everything we just did was only for one program. This could also be repeated for the MIS or the Mac program. The whole element of going from an application all the way to being able to enter in grades and all that, you can do that for any of these 3 programs, and it would take me a lot longer than 10 minutes to show that or explain that. So I think that's kind of the best I can do in 10 to 12 minutes or whatever the time limit is. But yeah, as I click through these screens, I'm pretty sure that's just about everything I needed to show. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and sign off and say that enjoyed it. It was a fun project, learned a lot, and hope everybody else had as good a time as we did on this. And good luck to everybody and what you got going on. And thanks for watching our video. This is Bryce Jordan for Team Talon. The group members were Shannon Hightower and Chad Foy. Everybody have a great day.